Okay, so let's go into this thing. Number one, so first things first is when did I know it was the right time to actually leave my job and go full time into bookkeeping? Now, this is the reason why I put this in this because a lot of people choose the wrong time to go full into their business, and it really caused them to struggle a lot, like more than what they need to. So it really came down to freedom. So the ultimate goal for me was like freedom. I wanted to be able to go where I wanted to go, whenever I wanted to go, do what I wanted to do, whenever I wanted to do, and not really have to think about money or think about stuff like that. But when I was starting, like that was the ultimate goal. I had to make sure that even though I had like a long-term vision, I was still moving from the reality that I was actually in at the time. So what I would start your business while you're still working your full-time job. One kind of myth that a lot of people think is if I could work 40 hours a week, it would be so much easier to grow my business than if I could spend my spare time at work. That's not actually true. Starting a bookkeeping business, the marketing element has diminishing returns. So for a lot of people, including myself, like, it would be funny because anytime that I have like maybe like I would take like a day or two off of work or I have a sick day or something, I would end up being less productive in that 8, 9, 10 hour day than what I would when I just had a little bit of spare time, maybe on my lunch break or after work, or if I didn't have to commute that day. With the 3 or 4 hours, I actually got way more done than when I had 8 to 10 hours because I was at home all day for that day, right? Now, again, there's diminishing returns, and for most people, you're just gonna have too much free time. It's gonna cause you actually to be less productive than if you learn how to grow your business while you're still at your job, right? Now, the next thing is a lot of people wait for the whens. So the first spectrum was they were just trying to quit their job cold turkey. They're going to go and attack and spend 60 hours a week working for themselves. The opposite side of the spectrum is when I'm out of work, when the kids are grown, when summer's over, when, I've saved up an extra 10, $20,000, right? When, blah, 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 right before I reach, like, the whens are things that kill a lot of people's dreams. So I know if you're watching this video, you're probably not making that mistake. Just in case you are, it's better to start now with the limited time that you have and kind of work your way up to it slow and steady than it is to go full in, burn yourself out, and never really reach your goals. And understand if time is really tight, that's good. Learn how to do this stuff while time is tight because then when your time like gets less tight, once you leave your job, you're going to be that much more productive and you're going to be ready to actually have a full-time like schedule. You need to earn that full-time schedule. Now, another thing is like when do you actually start quitting your job? So we said earlier you don't want to go like cold turkey. I like to focus on like my monthly bills being paid. So for me, I recommend most people like quit their job when they're at 1.5 times their monthly bills in revenue. So let's just hypothetical example, let's say that your bills are 1,000 a month, right? When you're at 1,500 a month in revenue, then you should leave your job. Now, I also like to do that after about 3 months, and I want to make sure this is after tax dollars. Okay, you don't just want to do 1.5x, like you still have to pay tax on that. And also remember, when you're self-employed, you often have to pay like estimated taxes like on a quarterly schedule. Now, for most people, when you're starting your business, like the first year and a half, you're probably not going to do estimated taxes because you just don't really have any history. Like the first year, it's not like the best not to do it, but it's relatively normal for you not to pay like estimated taxes on that. Now, again, that's not tax advice. This is not my tax planning channel. This is just my starting up your business channel. Because most times, like, you won't have a full year, and you'll just have like revenue just come in and out, and it won't be like a full business. Now, if you're working, you have a system that's going to move you towards six figures in under a year, okay, that's a little different. But if you're watching this video, you don't have that system and you're like working slow and steady, it's not super uncommon for you not to do estimated taxes in your first year. Now, I would still recommend if you do have your LLC and stuff, like you do pay some tax in the first year. It's not big as like what you're probably thinking, but you want to kind of get things off to a good start. Because I think one common misconception people had, so this is 3, 4, 5 years ago, like a lot of the payment processors would not necessarily report your income to the government if it was like either 200 transactions and I think it was like $20,000 in like revenue, right? If you had 200 transactions, but you didn't have $20,000 in revenue, then it'd be one thing. Or if you had 20,000 revenue, but you did not have 200 transactions, then it would be like it wouldn't report. But nowadays, it's not like that. So like they're gonna be reporting regardless. So just be aware of that. You can't just kind of like sneak under the radar as much what you used to. So I would still recommend paying some taxes, just the quarterly amount probably is the thing.